Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 121. I'm here with Ken, SSK Promo,
That's me.
and I'm Corey, Grams and Pops. You only get one name
Okay.
tonight. We're even
Okay.
tonight.
All right.
And,
Well,
well, that's it. That's the whole intro.
that's it. That's what it's episode 121, which is like another one of those that's the same forward and
Forward
backwards.
and backwards. Well, the two would be
So
backwards if you just
gonna
flipped
be
it, but
it'd be more like a Z or something.
1S1.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 1S1. We should play this. That's okay. Let's just have the whole thing in reverse. When you go to edit, the whole yeah.
It might be
Just
more
the whole-
interesting that way. We'll give it a shot.
I'm pretty sure it will be. I'm excited though, Corey. Are you excited? I can feel the excitement out of you.
I'm always excited.
It's 2 days away from live.
It is.
Your favorite thing to do is to do a live episode.
It is. It's Super Chat Day. I mean, live day.
When this comes out on Wednesday, the 30th, October 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central /
I'm looking forward to that show. I haven't talked to Jess and
Yeah.
Zena in a while, Resell to Ride.
Yes.
And I've never been on a live with Chad before, but I watch his lives. Actually, Teresa watches more of his lives than I do. He's like her guilty pleasure lately. I don't know why she watches all his lives, but she never misses one. But he is fun to watch, especially if you like puns and dad jokes.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to have him on.
I have to be honest. I have to check it out. I have to check Chad out. Wolfman's Goodies. You know, you can't have a Halloween show without a guy named Wolfman on there. I did watch a little snippet of one of his shows the other day, but I was like flipping through. It's like, oh, hey, that's Chad. Let's click on that and see what it's about. And then I got distracted and didn't get to finish. But that's going to be exciting.
Good background
We're gonna get to know them. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna do a little Halloween edition of this or that. Get the chat involved in that. We'll find out a little bit about some Halloween traditions and preferences.
It's Wednesday, October the 30th at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock, whatever your time is.
Yes, that's the Eastern time. The only time that really matters in the world. The world runs on Eastern time.
When does the time change? When's fallback?
I think it's maybe the following week. I think it's the first weekend in November.
We should ask Marshall. He'd know.
Marshall McPeak will know.
He'd know. He'll tell us.
I didn't have that picture. I should have. Oh, now that she's, I'm going to send in a picture to Marshall McPeak.
Like the old Bozo show, you're going to try and be the at-home player on the news?
Yes.
Did you ever write in and try to get on that?
I have not, but not when I was good. But I used to love
off the air.
The Bozo. Yeah, I love when they play the grand prize game and they have the kids throwing the puck. Yeah, and it's like I always felt so bad when some dumb little kid like didn't even hit the first bucket. It's like you basically just have to drop it.
I never felt bad for the kid throwing the ball. I was always cursing that kid. I always felt bad for the at-home player that gets to match his prizes.
Yes.
Every time I'd be like, man, there's a really upset kid out there. But we used to mail in to that show. I'll bet we did a dozen times. We'd write a letter to the show to be an at-home player. Never got to be an at-home player. So Bozo show's not on the air anymore. But I got beef with the Bozo show.
Of course you do. Shout out to Clarabelle, though. You know,
Clarabelle.
Yeah, Clarabelle was the other clown that was with Bozo. Kind of wore the orange. He always had like the seltzer bottle.
There was only one clown on that show. I was all about the Bozo.
On Bozo show, you don't remember Clarabelle?
I didn't even know the name when you said it.
Okay, down in the comments.
I'm sure he was there. Was it a guy or a girl?
Remember Clarabelle?
Clarabelle sounds like a girl.
This guy had like
the name
orange
Clarabelle?
Hair. Yeah. Bozo show Clarabelle. I don't know how you spell that, but I'm gonna find some images here. Oh, I must not spelled that right.
So I was watching a woke show back then and didn't even know it because of my youth. We had a tranny clown on there.
A woke show. Yeah,
Clarabelle the male clown.
Yeah. Well, Bozo was a male clown.
Well, he had a guy name too.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. I think
He didn't go out there and say, "This is the Bozo Show," and I'm Susan. We're so getting canceled.
Oh, we are. We are. Okay. I'm trying to call up
I've
here
got
real
no hate
quick.
for Clarabelle though, because I don't remember Clarabelle.
It was where's the
I
picture?
just
Where's the
remember
picture?
my disappointment at the show every single week because my name didn't get called. I need to be an at-home
What?
player. Maybe that's what you could do on your Whatnot show. You need to have at-home players that can win a prize that matches the value of the person who's bidding.
Shh. That's actually a great idea.
There you go. I could probably do it on my Whatnot channel because today I found out I have 24 followers on Whatnot.
24 followers on the
Yep.
Whatnot, and you not even why won't this picture of Clarabelle come up on
Now, while you're looking for that, though, I would
yeah.
like to sincerely thank all 24 of you and apologize for the disappointment that's going to be coming in the months ahead because I am not doing a Whatnot show. You have
You could
wasted your
now
follows.
you were challenged though to a graphic tea battle
Yeah, but
uh
that guy likes cats. I mean,
against Jack's Treasures. Shout out to Jack's Treasures. Um
I
I don't
was.
know. I
See,
can't
if I was
find
going
the
to do
picture.
that, I would have to just like come onto his Whatnot and do it.
Okay.
Like nobody's
Yeah.
going to come to my Whatnot. Well, 24 people might, but I doubt it.
You would that might be a good show, a good starting show. Well, I don't know why I can't get this picture of Clarabelle
I'm going to bring all size 2T onesies with graphic on them
to show up.
because he wasn't there.
Now I'm looking at it.
He's just making it up. You're making up clowns.
Okay, hold on. Oh wait, that's a marionette picture of him
It
anyway.
might have been a different show in Cincinnati, in
I
the
doubt
Ohio
it.
area.
Well, mine
Weren't they
mine I
based out
think
of Chicago?
yeah, like WGN
Something
with
like
and
that.
they had did you ever watch Dave Lanigan in the middle of the day and he would do the prize movie, Dave Lanigan's prize movie
Well, I
or
went to school.
Superhost? Do you remember Superhost? Did you
No.
have he was kind of a clown guy that played
We got
goofy
up early
movies.
enough to catch Fraggle Rock and the Bozo Show before school. And then we grabbed a disappointing breakfast and we hit the road because we had a long walk to get to school. Oh,
That
that's
was
creepy.
Clarabelle.
No,
That was Clarabelle on the
that's not even
screen
a
right now.
person. That's like a
Well, no,
doll, like a
that looks
puppet.
like a marionette, but he was real. It was a
Oh,
real.
whatever.
It was.
Whatever.
Yeah, you get your
This
24
is your brain on
followers.
Whatnot. This is what happens, kids. You start making up clowns.
I like that idea though of having the at-home player that a person gets.
Me too. You know, that'd
But
probably make
okay,
this show
wait,
more interesting too. We should do like an at-home caller. We should take calls.
we should.
I could see if I can get Teresa to call us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could probably get somebody to call into the show,
We'll just
and
take live
we
questions. Wouldn't that be
yeah
alive though? That's basically alive.
well
I didn't
yeah
think
it
this
is.
through.
You didn't. We could, I guess when you bring somebody on, but if it was just on the phone, we were holding the phone up there and just surprise them. Wait, maybe we
How
do it
would
in
they know
reverse
to call? Because we're recording this now. How would they know to call?
rather than having callers call in, we'll just call people.
just
Just
just randomly. Hey, Judy, what's up?
pick up the phone and yeah, hey. Oh, okay. The reason I started on this whole thing anyway is that you mentioned Marshall McPeak, and then I went to find this picture because I had just found this picture today. Because you got the fall leaves, all the leaves are turning colors and falling off the trees, and luckily, while this tree that was in my backyard, I had to have it cut down a couple years ago. But you've heard of the Ohio State marching band, right? The
I
best
have.
damn band in the land
Did they do
that
that Michael
does.
Jackson thing in the middle of the field? Was that them?
Yeah, they do all kinds of really cool choreographed stuff, but they're most famous for Script Ohio, right?
Okay.
Where they march out and they do the word Ohio in script as they're playing. Well,
I
one
don't know if
year,
I'd want my claim to fame to be that I could spell a four-letter word with people.
well, and it's a big honor
Reaching for
to
the
dot the
stars over
I.
there.
There's only been a few. Recently, they had Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner, the only two-time Heisman Trophy winner.
Is that in basketball?
No, that is in football.
Okay.
I'm doing my Heisman Trophy pose right there.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, they had him come out and dot the I, and there's only been like 4 or 5 other people that have not been a band member. But that has nothing to do.
My girls were really big into marching band and color guard. Matter of fact, one of them, my youngest, after she graduated, she still does coaching for some of the color guard schools around the area.
Yes.
So we got to watch a lot of Ohio State marching band videos.
Okay.
While they were living at home.
They're great. They're neat. I love marching band stuff. I was never in a marching band, but I enjoy the drum and bugle corps stuff, because they used to have the national championships for drum and bugle corps right here in my town. And then the stadium our local high school stadium kind of got too small to hold the event and places for all the bands to stay. So they moved it down to Columbus. But anyway, my photo that I had found today that I remembered that I was going to send to Marshall McPeak. Oh, that's how we got started. I was going to send it in, and then you asked about sending stuff into Bozo. One year, when all the leaves on this tree they used to have were covering the whole ground, you could not see any grass or much grass at that point. I got the mower out, and I decided what I called Mulch Ohio.
Does that say Ohio?
It does say Ohio. So using the mulching mower,
I see it. Left to right, like a book.
Yes. And then there I am dotting the I on the mower. Oh, if I can't zoom in on that picture, or you could see I actually had some hair in that picture. And
so this is not recent.
It was darker. No, actually, where that Script Ohio is in my backyard is now my garage. Sits on that part. It's so yeah, that's I don't know, 20 years ago or so, 15. I don't know when I built the garage. But
now you can see if you end up on the news.
Yeah, that's what I'm sending in. You know, when all the leaves are turning color and falling off, and he's doing fall reports, maybe I'll get a shout out from Marshall. I shout him out enough. It's only, it's only fair. I'm looking right at you, Marshall McPeak. It's only fair.
Well, have you tried writing a letter? It didn't work for me, but maybe it will work for you.
I have not. Send it, put a stamp on it, and send it in the mail.
Show them you're serious.
There's no sense in really, being convenient and just emailing it off to Marshall.
Well, you don't want to do that. If you want them to really take you serious, you got to put all the letters, like cut them out of magazines, glue them down with a glue stick. Then they tend to take it serious.
Little blood stain on the side of it.
Signed, "See you soon, Mr. Bill."
Wait, are we going to talk about anything reselling at all today? No. Okay, so we finished the Holiday Life Tour. That's that day. I did see, this isn't really reselling either, but I did see the most useless device ever the other day.
Was it your phone with my number in it?
Okay, I saw the second most useless device. Okay,
I'm curious. I am curious what's up there.
How you go, well, I'll throw the picture. Man, this is starting to get to be a visual podcast. We're
gonna have more pictures too. We brought more. It's show and tell day.
It is. So you got to go over on the YouTube. If you're just listening over on like Spotify or iTunes or something like that.
All 6 of you.
Check us out on YouTube. Actually, that show does pretty good on the audio side.
You got to come over to YouTube anyway. You got to see the Santa beard progression and all the visual cues.
I'm just like a couple of weeks away because I'm gonna bleach this out earlier than I normally do this year. So we have. I
was trying to keep you from saying bleaching on this episode, but I failed.
Bleach count is up to what, like 4 or 5 now that we've said in this episode. But anyway, the most useless device I've ever seen in the world is this right here.
Dollar Tree scan for. Wait a minute.
It's the
Dollar Tree.
It was at the Dollar Tree, and it's like on one of the posts in the store. It was a scanner. At Walmart, they used to have scanners all over the place. Yeah. Now they want you to use the app when you're in the store. And then when you're in the store and you turn on the Walmart app, it like knows that you're in the store. Yep. And then so now it wants to pop up a bunch of junk on there. And they want you to use their scanner to scan things. But
when
I was
people
at
say
the
they have an app for stuff, the old man comes out immediately. I'm so anti-app. We went to the McDonald's drive-through the other day, and Teresa
yeah.
used her app. It takes like 5 minutes longer when you use your app. But I could get a free cheeseburger next. Shut up. Just drive to drive-through. Or
like,
worse yet, we sat in the office last weekend, and she was going to order food from McDonald's through the app and then go pick it up. How much more convenient do you need than a drive-through? You literally drive up, say, I want a cheeseburger, and drive to the window and get it.
Oh,
But you got to order ahead of time. My head explodes. I'm telling you. Like, there's been fights in my house over these stupid apps.
Jill DoorDashes food a lot. And like, it's when she's at work now with her job, she can't always leave because she has clients that come, one right after another. And sometimes her break isn't long enough for her to leave and go get some lunch. And if she hadn't packed that day, so I can understand, door dashing something like that. But when we're at her house or we're at my house or whatever, like say after we're done with the Whatnot show, and she's like, well, I could DoorDash something. And I'm like, no, all of these restaurants that you would DoorDash from are literally 5 minutes from my house. And except for last night. See, now I'm on this, still another reselling topic is I go to the Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? My folks, we were talking like after coffee time, and they're like, oh, Wednesdays is Country Fried Steak Day. They have like a Country Fried Steak is like $5. You get, a couple of sides and biscuit and stuff like that. And so I'm like, well, I don't want them to run out. I didn't know what I wanted to have for dinner, but I'll go get your Country Fried Steak and I'll pick me something up while I'm there. So I go through the drive-through, the convenient part. I pull up, and I think that they should tell you when you place your order at the speaker if the food is ready or not. Like, not after you've get up there, you've paid, they've given you your change, and then they go, we have about a 5-minute wait on that so that it's hot and fresh. Can you pull up? Right?
So much for fast food, huh?
Well, yeah. And so I'm thinking, okay, my folks, they wanted the Country Fried Steak. I'm going to pull up for 5 minutes. Okay, no big deal. So after a little bit, it's like I'm really not paying attention to like the time, but it's like, man, I've been here for a little while. And then I start watching the clock. Well, I'm going to watch my clock for 5 minutes to go by because 5 minutes has had to have gone by now. And then the next thing you know, then I look at my receipt at when I had actually placed the order. I had been sitting there for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and all the cars behind me, they pull up, they pay, and then they have to go out around me. I'm not one of those like dickweeds or whatever that just pulls up a little bit just to be annoying. I pulled up, quite a bit. And so now it's like, wait a minute, this is ridiculous. So I go around and I go into the up to the front counter and I show the girl my receipt and I say, they asked me to pull up and they said 5 minutes and it has been 20 minutes now. I would just like to have my food. Oh, okay. She turns around, she looks, she's like, oh, okay. Can I give you, they never put down the Country Fried Steak. I'll give you anything else that you want on the menu. I have it. And I'm like, I came here for my parents, my elderly parents, you kind of play that card. And it's Wednesday and that's when you have Country Fried Steak. And that's what they wanted. And she's like, okay, well, we'll put it down. I'm so sorry. We're short staffed, which is a problem.
100% they're spitting in that Country Fried Steak gravy.
Well, I don't think that they did, but that's not what I got. I got the two-piece crispy.
So sorry, Judy.
I'll tell you.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, you got the spit in Country Fried Steak. Okay. I understand being short-staffed, and that's a big problem around here, especially fast food restaurants and stuff. But isn't there some progression of the orders that come up? Wouldn't you look and go, okay, this is the next order, even if you were short-staffed? It's like, this is the next order, and they never put it down. So now I got to wait for another 5 minutes standing in the lobby.
It's very quickly become the Two Old Guys podcast.
It has.
Like the real two old guys, not the good two old guys that are always happy and don't complain. It's become the real Two Old Guys podcast.
I'm getting as curmudgeon-y as you, Corey.
You know what? It's gotten bad enough with those dang apps now. My kids are sitting at home. They live in a bigger town. They live in Sioux Falls. They're sitting at home and they're so antisocial at this point that the apps even have an option to don't knock on my door. Just put the food on my porch. So I don't have to answer the door and say hello to another human being. How ridiculous is that?
the contactless delivery.
That is insane. I can't believe that's even an option. If you can't even open your door and say, thank you for bringing me my food, you shouldn't be eating food from other people. You should have to forage for your stuff. Like go in the backyard, flip a log and eat some worms or something. Holy cow. Don't knock on my door. I don't get it. I don't get it. The only good thing about it is I'm not going to live long enough to see it get much worse. Like I'm on my way down the hill.
You're on the decline. Okay, I can see that.
So
I can tell.
I see why people get more peaceful at the end, and they're like, yeah, they're accepting. Well, I get it. They want out. These younger people are nuts.
They're just giving up at some point. Yeah, what drives me nuts is sometimes I want finally decide what restaurant I want to go to, or if it's fast food, and I might want to look on the phone to see like if they have any new sandwiches out or if they have anything, or I want to just check something out. I absolutely cannot stand that you cannot look at a menu on an app without starting an order. Okay.
I wouldn't know. I don't have any of the apps.
Then, well, yeah, some they make you get the app, or some that you don't actually have to have the app and you go through like just the web version or whatever. And they make you start an order to look and see what is on the menu. Well, then what happens is, okay, I click on this. I might want to see what this is and then you go out of it. Okay, I know what I want. I'm going to go over there and get it. And then later you get notification to your phone. Hey, you left this in your cart. Do you still want to order this? Do you want to save it for later? It's like, no, all I wanted to do was see what kind of sandwiches you had. I don't want to start an order. I don't want to, do my business that way. And yeah, it does sound old and grumpy and
Ken's one of those guys that pulls up to McDonald's. It's been around for 100 years, but you still got to look at the menu.
It
hasn't changed for years. Same 2 cheeseburger meal. It's always been there.
Except for the ones now. Did you see there's like a big E. coli outbreak with McDonald's?
I read that. I read it on an Instagram reel, I think, like the day after we had a quarter pounder from McDonald's.
Of course, with the bad onions. They think that it's onions, and if that's what it is, it's like the first time that. Yes.
Honestly, I put enough poison in my body. If E. coli can live inside me, then it's a bad strain. Yeah, it should win.
Maybe that's the way you're going to go out, Corey. That quarter pounder you had the other day with the bad onions. Well, hey, if this is the last episode, then, if you just had that the other day, this could be 121.
If this is the last episode, it's more likely that Ken got a job with Marshall from that photo, because I don't think it's going to be the E. coli that takes us out.
It's going to be me moving along to work as assistant weather guy at WSYX with Marshall McPeak.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to try and get some Ohio channels if that happens. But well, other than not mowing your yard with hair, what did you do this week? Did you do anything?
Well, on the last, right back here behind me, last week we talked about, after we were recording, we were having a big family pumpkin carving event. And
so your week was recreational.
Yeah, well, no, I was busy. But it started out with carving my evil Mr. Bill pumpkin. That's an evil Mr. Bill. You can't see it probably that far. I don't know if let me see if I zoom myself in.
More like a donut?
Well, yeah, but he has fangs.
Oh,
and he has fangs and kind of slanted eyes and stuff. But it was a fun day. It was a fun event. And
that was not the winning pumpkin. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it was not.
I did get the dirt on that. It wasn't the winning pumpkin. I think you revealed the winning pumpkin on the Ken versus 10 this week.
On Ken versus 10, yeah. I talked on the Ken versus 10 about, struggling with stuff, getting things. I'm stretched really thin with, doing the eBay, doing the whatnot, doing the storage units and all of that stuff, and trying to work through that. But I had a good couple of days after the show.
Might be easier on whatnot if you had 24 followers like me.
That's right. I don't know what they say, close to 1,500 now at this point, which is still really, really a small channel. I mean, I will not rubbing it in, Corey, with your.
Don't diminish my followers.
Your 24
They're loyal.
Followers.
They're showing up, and I'm not even there.
Yeah. Corey's getting notifications for shows that he's not going to watch, and he's not accepting Brian's
if you're
challenge.
on whatnot and you're one of those people that are sending me messages about your upcoming show on the Whatnot messaging platform, knock it off. I'm blocking all of you. I ain't accepting messages about your show.
Actually, Corey has 24 followers on Whatnot, and he has like 45 blocked accounts.
That's not a lie.
Whatnot.
I have more blocks than I do followers. I absolutely do. Every time somebody messages me, hey, come check out this show. We're going to have some great stuff.
Why don't you just turn off the notifications?
I didn't even know you could.
Well, in your phone, it's a setting, or I think it's a setting in Whatnot too, that you can choose what kind of
notifications. But does it still put the little red number on the app to show that they're there?
I don't know.
Because I can't handle that. My OCD won't let that. I cannot have an unread email. I cannot have an unread message. I have to go look.
I check mine. I check mine quite often. But see, most of I do get those occasionally that people want to promote one of their shows. But most of the
people
time,
message me on Instagram to tell me they were going to have a Whatnot show. They're on my block list now too.
Yeah, that's annoying as well. But I guess I post my shows when I'm going to have a show on Instagram, but I put it as a story. And I guess I'm not
you post them on your Instagram. You don't send me a message.
Yeah.
But you don't send me a private message to say, come buy my stuff.
No, but I'm probably going to start just because I know
you're going to.
I'll get a little bit of a chuckle, during the day when I go watch this. Let me annoy Corey
to an
again.
Exclusive list. You know what? I probably shouldn't have said anything on here because now I'm going to get more of that.
You probably, oh yeah.
Everybody's gonna now.
Well, no, you're not, Corey, because we it's been proven that the people that watch this show are like anti Whatnot. They don't want to hear from
as they should be.
About
I'm
Whatnot.
Not so much anti Whatnot is anti unsolicited messages. Send me a message and ask me how my day's going. Like check in on me, like Dan and Demand. Sometimes I feel like I need to check in too, but I don't need to know about your Whatnot show. That's checking in on you. That's like me sending Ken a message and saying, Ken, how am I? No. That's not what you do.
What?
People are broken.
They are. And man, we've really done nothing but complain on this episode so far.
We haven't. I've got more complaining to do.
Well, I want to hear it.
Remember my Amazon books that they lost?
Yes.
I was happy yesterday because I got a notification that they found them. And they scanned them and they received them. And then they put them on a truck to ship them somewhere else. So still nobody could buy them. So they're shipping them to a different facility where they're going to need to scan them and find them and recheck them back in.
Yeah.
And it could be 2-3 weeks now, but at least they found them, I guess.
Well, see, you're getting on me because I might be selling stuff on Whatnot for a lot less price where you're going through all of this effort and shipping and stuff like that. And yours aren't even available for sale. So no, Amazon doesn't sound any better than Whatnot.
Well, hey, I could crap on Whatnot a lot, but I didn't tell you I was smarter than you.
Yes.
That's not the issue.
Well, I think we all know that you're smarter than I am.
That's not an accusation that's ever been slung my way. But I'm determined. I'm bullheaded, and I'm determined that before I close my Amazon account, I am going to make a profit on there. And I'm going to play by their rules, and I'm going to do whatever I can, and I'm going to give it an honest try.
Yes.
And that means going through the growing pains, and they suck. Like, I would not recommend this to anyone. But if you can get through it all, if I could send in half the books I have that are profitable books, my Amazon account would probably be doing really well. I've just gated in everything, even 80% of the books. So I'm trying to get past that point, and I'm just determined to do it. So it's just stubbornness at this point. Like, I've got to make them play.
You will win. And then once you made the profit, then you can thumb your nose at
day one
at Amazon.
When I could put that $1 bill in a little plaque and hang it on my wall and say my Amazon fortune started here, then closing the account. Just tell them to throw it all away.
Then another blank frame beside it that just says my Amazon, fortune ended here, and just have an arrow over at the pointing over to the other dollar.
Day one, day done.
So that's cool that they found them, and at least they're found and they're shipped on and will eventually. So that's resellery stuff.
We had another lot. Remember that Tennessee Oilers coat that I was telling you about that we found, the 97 Tennessee Oilers starter jacket?
Yes.
Pro line jacket.
There was like a shipping issue with it or something like that, wasn't there?
We sold that pretty quick for like $250.
Yeah.
And we shipped it off and everything was great. And he wanted to wear it that Saturday. And we are like, that shouldn't be a problem. It's like 8 days away.
Yeah.
Well, the post office didn't show an arrival scan, even though we put it on the bulk sheet and they scanned the sheet and it showed they had all 9 packages.
Yeah.
It never got an arrival scan, which never happens at our post office because we take them in and we give them the sheet and hand them the packages.
Yeah.
But it did this time. And then it didn't show any updates after that. And it's been like 13 days now.
Okay.
And so he opened a claim on it, item not received. Tomorrow he gets his refund. And tonight, like an hour before the show, before we recorded, we got an update on the USPS tracking that the package had been found and it is now in his state. But it's probably going to be delivered day after tomorrow, which is a day after he gets his refund automatically from eBay.
Oh, is there Is there any way to circumvent that?
No, we even called. We have the concierge service now because we're fancy. We didn't pay for it. I don't know how we got it. It just showed up one day.
Okay.
So we called them and they called us right back and we explained what's going on and they checked the tracking and they could see it's there and scheduled for delivery. And they just said because it's less than 24 hours out from when the claim resolves automatically, they can't stop it. So they have to let it refund. After it refunds, if it shows up and we can prove it shows delivered, they said call us back and we'll make sure you get your money. So that's kind of where it's at right now.
Okay. So eBay will take care of you at that point. Are they going to refund the buyer? They'll refund the buyer and then take care of you?
They're going to refund the buyer tomorrow morning regardless.
Okay.
The only difference is if it shows delivered, it sounds like he still gets to keep his money and the jacket, but eBay will give us our money for the transaction, which again is this buyer has been like amazing as a buyer.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. We've communicated with him all along the way. We put in a lost package claim. Like we've been mailing him or messaging him like every day. And he's been super, like as patient as you could ever expect someone to be.
Yeah.
So I think even if he got it, I think he would probably send us money via PayPal and pay for it.
Okay.
But regardless now, it sounds like he's going to get his refund and we're going to get it too.
Could he end the claim if he sees that the tracking shows it?
Yeah, we sent him the tracking update and we asked him if he could end the claim, and because it's so close, it won't even let him end it.
Oh, really? Well,
so it sounds like he's getting a free jacket.
If he's that cool, can you send me his email so that I can start sending him when I have Whatnot shows?
Yeah, you got some Tennessee Oilers stuff, or you just want to send his inbox?
No, I just want to notify him that I'm having a show. Since he's that cool, he's probably not going to block me. Okay, so there you go. Jacket was found. Books were found.
Oh, I've been sweating that jacket forever. For the last 10 days, I've been a nervous wreck about that jacket. I've never seen one, and it was such a cool old vintage jacket.
Oh, it was pretty sweet. I remember you showed me a picture of it.
Just the thought of it being lost in the mail was making me sick. I didn't even care about the money at that point. It was just, it was something you're not going to ever see again.
How far away was it? Did any of the tracking information show
it's
where
3
they
hours,
found the package?
Yeah, it's 3 hours from his house.
Okay.
So he's in Tennessee. It's in Memphis, and he's in some other town in Tennessee.
Okay.
So it made it where it was supposed to go. It just didn't pick up a scan until it got there, and it took 13 days to get there.
Yeah, and he wanted to wear it the previous Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to wear it like 2 Saturdays ago almost.
He's going to have, he's going to have a cool jacket because with the Tennessee Oilers were only 2 seasons or something?
97, 98, I believe is what we found out.
Maybe like one football season. So yeah, you're not going to find a whole lot of those out there.
There's not a lot of those out there. I don't think we'll ever see another one again. It was one of those things when you see, even though they were high priced at the sale where we paid $50 for it. And it's, like paying $50 at a garage sale hurts. No matter.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a reseller, $50 at a garage sale, you're like, oh.
Oh yeah. I tell you that it's plus for it to be in like South Dakota, Tennessee Oilers in South Dakota,
and almost new. I mean, it was in great condition. It looked like it had hardly ever been worn.
Yeah. I had an understanding customer as well. It was a Facebook Marketplace deal. And I had this air compressor. Actually, I had two air compressors, and I had only listed one because they were kind of identical models. And
from cleaning out the lockers?
Well, the one was originally mine, and the other I got from a clean out of Jill's uncle's house when he had passed
Okay.
away. And but I was going to sell both of these because in the storage units, I found a smaller one because I don't need a big tank one anymore. Because
Yep.
what used to be my workshop is now my office. And so I thought, well, I'm going to list one of these units so it doesn't look like, because they were kind of identical models, I didn't want to list two of them and people confuse them for being like me posting the same thing twice. And so I thought I'll sell the first one and then post the second one. So it was up there for a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. And when I first posted, I didn't get any love out of it at all. I did like the renew and then a renew. And then I lowered the price some and did a renew. And then, like, for some reason, one weekend, I started getting all these messages about it. Is this available? And then, of course, the lowball offers. And then finally, I get a guy that's like legit, and he's going to drive like 40, 45 minutes to come and pick it up. Now, I had plugged it in, tested it, filled it, did everything like 3 weeks ago. The guy comes over, we plug it in, I turn it on, motor's humming, just great, shut it off. It's leaking like crazy.
Leaking air or oil?
Leaking air. And so we determine it's under this one cover. So then we try to take the cover off, and now we break the cover. And I'm like, and I keep telling the guy, yeah, I'm apologizing because I'm embarrassed because it worked. And here's the guy drove all this way. So I tell, hold on, over in my other shed, I have another one of these units. I'll go get it. I drag it across the yard, plug it in, turn it on. I hadn't cleaned this one up. It's running just fine. Turn it off. It's leaking as well from like the same area. And you know how like on an air compressor, you have that release valve. It's like the safety overflow valve, but you can let the air out of the tank. Well, we're both standing there looking at it and it's leaking air. So I want to just get the excess air out of it so we're not sitting there listening to it. And I pull that little plug and both of us just got covered in rust dust. It's like, this one's no good. So now we're looking at the broken one and we figure out what part that we might need. And it's going to be like $30. I'm ready to just tell the guy, hey, if you want to work on it, I'll help you load it. You can have it. It ain't doing me no good. I know me. Yeah, I could buy the part it was going to be like $30 on Amazon, 25, $30. I'm not going to work on it. So I just told him, I said, well, if it's something that you think you want to tinker with, I'll make you a really good deal. I was asking $200 for it. And I'll make you a really good deal. And he just kind of thought for a second. And he's like, well, does 100 sound fair?
No.
And I couldn't have been like, let's load it up any quicker. Because at first I was thinking like free. And then I thought, well, maybe I can get $50 out of the guy. He offered 100. And I'm
for
like,
100, I'd have put them both in your truck.
Let's do it. Well, so the second one, it was, it's like, I know I'm not going to deal with it. And the tank had a few more like rust pits and stuff in it. This is the one that wasn't mine originally. And, so I hauled it just out to the street, out to the curb. And my street is great because all you got to do is take something out there and in a little bit, it's gone. We always bet between my family how long it's going to take for something to be gone. We bet like an ice cream cone
on a scooter,
like
swing by and snatch it up,
drop off a package. It was less than 45 minutes, and this big ass air compressor was gone. It doesn't matter what you put out there. Yeah, and it was even on an off day because a lot of times our trash day is Tuesday. So the scrappers always, if you put something out on a Monday, because they know that that's the day for the route in my neighborhood, that, stuff is just gone instantly.
I guess that's a bonus of living in town. If I put something out here by the road, I just have to go pick it back up later.
Yeah, I hardly ever have to haul anything back to the house. So, but understanding customers, we were talking about your guy with your jacket, but this guy with the air compressor was really cool about the whole thing. He didn't I apologize. I felt bad. He drove 40 minutes and he'll end up getting probably a new air compressor like that size is about $400 if you go to like Lowe's or Menards or something like that. It was already a deal
the
at
compressor
200.
part's obviously working. It's pumping air.
Yeah.
You just got to get it sealed back up.
The tank was solid. And so, he'll end up buying this part and tinkering a little bit and he'll have a basically almost a new air compressor for $130.
Yeah, when we bought our big compressor, we used to run a metal shop and do metal fab. We bought our big air compressor. We bought it used, and within the first 3-4 days, we had to buy a whole new valve kit and gasket kit. We had to rebuild the whole thing. I mean, when they sit, things start going bad.
But it's like I had just tested. I kept telling God, honestly, I did not make you drive all this way for something that leaks. I'm not that type of guy. It was cool. It worked out. And then I had another good Facebook Marketplace sale, again, on big item, a dust collector that I had never used, never taken out of the box.
Like for wood dust?
For wood dust. Mm-hmm. And when I used to have the workshop, I had bought it with the intentions of running the lines all through the shop. And I had the accessory kit, and had never opened it, never opened the box. I'd opened the accessory kit just to see what was in there, and then be able to take some photos. And so that went for like $250.
Was this stuff all at your house?
Yeah, is in my
you cleared some room then.
In the storage area, yes. 2 big air compressors, and that, I don't know how big that box was for the dust collector. But yeah, so now I got a little more space to breathe, but it doesn't take, it's like a vacuum at my house. As soon as there's an empty spot, everything is just like, it fills up like instantly. I need to, I need to do problem. Like a inventory or something like that to get.
Yeah, that's, we skipped our sourcing day today. Thursdays is when we source, and we skipped it today so that we could stay home, because we kind of got on a roll. We looked at our eBay store and we hit like 4,987 products, or 3,987.
Okay.
But we were almost ready to tip over that 4,000 point. I think we have 180 drafts. So we have more than 4,000 total.
Yeah. Could have made
plus our death pile. And we were like, we've got to clear room. We have too much stuff.
Yes.
So we've been running that. I think we mentioned last week, we've been running like a 50% off sale on everything over a year old.
Yeah.
And the last 2 days we decided to get our inventory really straightened out and find out why the stuff wasn't selling that's sitting.
Yeah.
So we started doing a really thorough inventory. We've done like an entire row of our tubs. I think I got 42 tubs inventory today, a little over 600 items.
So you're going through, I think I saw on your Instagram over there, Grams and Pops Vintage Instagram, you had bought some labels, some dry erase labels that you could put on your tubs and keep them organized.
They were inventoried. Yep.
So when you inventory, you say you did 44 tubs. What are you doing in that tub? What you pull a tub off the shelf? What are you doing?
We're pulling the tub off the shelf, open it up, and then we search by SKU number, because all our tubs are skewed.
Yeah.
And we make sure that what eBay says is in that tub is what's actually in the tub, and make sure nothing's missing. Okay. So that's the first part, is just an actual physical inventory.
Okay.
But then we're actually going through and looking at the pictures and the titles and keywords and the prices on some of them, especially if they're old ones, to see if we're just out of the market now, see if the market changed. Not interesting?
No, I don't know.
We could switch gears. Inventory's boring. I get it.
I for those of you that weren't watching the screen, I just like yawned really bit. I don't know what it was. I was just like, it's not that the story wasn't interesting. I don't know what it was. And I was trying to fight it. I was sitting here like, okay, can I suck this one down? And then it's like, I couldn't.
Well, this is more
Corey
exciting.
Caught me.
So we did a really thorough inventory, physical inventory, but we also looked at the products, especially the old ones that didn't sell. And some of the products we've gotten rid of because they're not going to sell. They were never good items. We just put them on because we had them.
Yeah.
But then for everything we thought still could sell and it was priced right now and the listing looked good, we did something that's against our grain, which is we ended and sold similar on every item in every tub as we inventory them. And that killed me. It hurts. My soul hurts because now I can't run sales based on date.
Well, you can run a sale based on a new date because really it is a fresh It is. I mean, if you went in and you looked at each item and you checked the pictures and you checked the pricing and you checked everything, it really is like a fresh new item for you. It's not like you just went in
It
and did an
is.
end and sell similar blindly.
And we
But
have the dates on the tub, so we can run sales based on the tub dates because that's what we put down as the
yeah,
date of the inventory. So now we can go back and run based on, we could search by the SKU number of the tub and run sales based on the tubs.
yeah,
And we could do that. But it's something we've been fighting for 3 years. We didn't want to get rid of that listed date. So we didn't do
yeah.
end and sell similar. I don't know if it's
Well,
doing any good or if it's going to, but
you
we're,
have stuff that's been listed for 3 years or
yep,
2 years
a
or
lot.
three.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it was time for this inventory anyway, and time
Yep.
to because that thing is probably so far buried in the eBay search algorithm.
Yeah.
After 2 or 3 years, you might as well. Well,
Well,
okay.
some of
So
it was just not even
have
on eBay because we did find like 3 items in those 46 or 42 totes or how many there were in that row. I think we found like 3 items that were in the tubs they're on eBay, but they're not where they're not even supposed to be in those tubs. So we
okay,
had to put them in different tubs. And then we found three
okay,
items that are in the tubs that are not anywhere on eBay.
okay,
So we have to go in and see if we want to relist them. If we're going to relist them, then rephoto them and do the whole
yeah,
thing and re-inventory them. But that was one row, and it took us 2 days. Like it was over 600 items in that one row. We got like
okay,
7 more rows to do, plus all the shelves around the room.
yeah,
Like we're just going to keep at it till we get through them because we did combine a lot of totes. Like quite a few of the totes were half empty,
yeah,
so we were able to combine them.
yeah.
We've cleared some room in totes.
I've noticed that with some of my inventory too. They're half full on the shelves, and well,
Mm-hmm.
I could combine them, but the way that I do my inventory is it's similar or like items. If it's kitchen stuff or electronics or it's plush or it's hats or whatever, they are all in similar tubs. So there's more than a good chance of when I'm going to pull an item that it's going to be in a certain tub. I don't have them skewed or labeled. It's all
We
by
try
memory.
we try to keep like items. I mean, we have tubs that are just blue jeans,
Yeah.
but inevitably when we're listing, we put them in the tub where they'll fit. So we have tubs that are Tupperware, cameras, trinket boxes, and T-shirts, like all in
Yeah.
one tub.
Yeah.
So we were able to straighten some of that out,
Yeah.
combine some tubs, move some stuff around.
Which is good when you're using the SKU system, because if it's entered properly, it's like I can go right to that tub, and if it's the trinket box or if it's the
You
blue
can move it
jeans,
easy.
you're going to find it quickly. Um,
And it's a good thing we're doing
if
this now because we've never needed inventory space as
yeah,
bad as we do right now. Like with that big clothing haul we just brought home, like
yeah,
we're being pretty aggressive about getting it processed and listed and cleaned and all that, but we need space, and there's more than enough good in there that we're keeping that we're going to need probably 15, I'd say 15 or 20 tubs, like the big
oh
totes,
really?
just for clothes
Yeah,
by the
that's
time we're
man,
done.
I would hate to have to list all of that and go through. I have tons of clothing as well that I need to whichever way I'm going to do it. I have a lot of stuff that is going to be on eBay because it's
Yeah.
good stuff, it's vintage stuff, it's stuff that's going to move for enough money to not put on a whatnot show. But I have a lot of clothing that is for a whatnot show, but it's disorganized at the moment. It's not in, I'm not gonna hold up a graphic tee and then the next thing, oh, I got a pair of ladies' mom
So are you
jeans, and the next
saying
thing I got is
are you saying that you put the garbage stuff on whatnot and the good stuff on eBay? Is that what you're saying?
no, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that
Lies.
there are items that are either going to move or so. Sure, a really cool vintage T-shirt is going to move super fast on whatnot, but I'm not going to do that. But there
I wouldn't
are
either.
your mid stuff, clothing, things that people want. We
We
have a
have a
lot of
ton of stuff.
new with
That's
tags, like
yeah.
ladies' clothes and stuff that I'm just not going to list. But it's not garbage or junk stuff. The things that are just not going to sell. If I just have a random T-shirt that says San Diego on the pocket, I'm probably not going to do anything with that. I'm not going to list it anywhere. it's probably just going to get redonated or something.
What's that saying? You sleep on a bed of lies. Is that the saying?
I'm not. Where am I? What am I lying about?
I'm just messing with you. No, we actually have a ton of stuff from that clothing haul that's really good stuff. It's almost brand new.
Yeah.
It's just not stuff that's going to move well on eBay. It's commodity clothes is what I would consider it. It's stuff that there's a million of on eBay, and it has decent value. It's just not eBay. But if you put it in a million other places, it'd probably do well. That kind of stuff we're lotting up, and we'll either sell big lots by size and by type, like a bunch of size extra large men's t-shirts. We'll sell them as a lot either on Shop Commons or even eBay. They'll sell in lots on eBay too.
So
it's not
Commons,
something.
Is that the place where you're dumping off your junk?
Shit, yeah. No, that's funny. On Shop Commons, you can almost count on if it's decent value and you're not trying to get eBay prices for it. You'll almost guarantee that somebody that has a booth or owns a thrift store or sells on Whatnot is going to come along and snatch it up if it's a buck or two a t-shirt, rather than redonating them. And at a certain point, that stuff, if it doesn't sell, we've got like 6 boxes of lots that have been on Commons that we've lowered the price like 5 times on.
Yeah.
I'm not going below $5. I'm not shipping you something for under $5. So if it hits $5, I'm either going to throw it away or donate it. And at that point, I don't have a problem donating it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a number of things like that it's well, what you're going through right now, except you're being more diligent at getting through the pile. We're attacking that pile. A lot of things that I'm not attacking it because clothing is not my favorite thing to deal with, to photograph, to list, blah, blah, blah. And so I would rather spend my effort and my time on things that are either in my wheelhouse first.
Yep.
And then other, I'm more of a hard goods guy than I am any sort of
I am 100%. But I will say, when you're going through clothing because you have to, because that's what you got. When you're going through clothing and you find some clothing that's worth a couple $100 for a jacket or a shirt, clothing gets a lot more exciting. There are some really cool, like we have a Notre Dame top of the world hat up right now that's like a $80, $90 hat.
Yeah.
And finding stuff like that, or that Oilers jacket, or a couple of the pieces that we actually found from this haul that are, $100, $200, $300 pieces.
Yeah.
You get a little more excited about clothing when you find those.
Yeah,
they're like finding your grails of hard goods. You're not going to find them very often.
It's like anything else, I guess, that like right now you're in a clothing mindset. You're learning, you're seeing brands, you're going through the pile, you're seeing it every day. You're getting a system down of what to check for, what to look, then let's get these photographed, let's get these listed. And when you're doing all of those things, you do you get into something. It's just,
I'll walk by clothes 10 out of 10 times, but there's a few pieces now that I know well enough that if I saw them at a garage sale, I'll wrestle the guy for them. Like, I'm not leaving without them just because I know they're super good pieces. And I would have never even looked at them before. So it has kind of forced us to learn.
An individual piece or brands? Are you talking more brands?
More styles, like the hats. Okay. I've kind of gotten a little better at finding the right hats. Okay. And I've inventoried 2 of our totes of hats already. We have a lot of junk hats that I thought were good. They're just not.
Yes.
Like sometimes
I got
old
some more.
Isn't
do you
good.
Want? Do you want some more? Because I can.
No, I'm trying to get less.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
because I can help. And
I know we talked about that last time too. Like the old K products hat, they're not all good just because they're K products and they're old and they're made in the U.S. Yes. Sometimes they actually are just not any good.
Exactly.
So I'm getting better at spotting those. I'm also getting better at spotting things that are out of the ordinary, which is probably the skill most resellers own more than individual brands, is noticing things that don't fit. Like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So we're starting to develop that with clothes a little bit. We still suck at it, but we're starting to notice things.
You were showing me before the show, and I think we loaded them up of a couple of pieces
out of the free stuff. Yep.
Yeah, out of the. Oh well, okay. So here's one picture that you loaded when Corey was talking. We talked about this last week about this clothing haul, and he was talking about this place that had they had taken donations for a organization, and then the organization closed down, and they had to get rid of everything, so they were giving it away. So here's a picture I'm throwing up of this was.
That's what we were digging in.
Not even close to the amount that they had.
That's after several loads. Yeah.
That's a huge storage unit. What is that? Like a 10 by 30 or something?
10 by 30. Yep. And it's full that way all the way back.
And so they were just giving this away.
Yep. Well, they started at $1 a bag, but by the time we saw the ad, they were free. Just come get as much as you can get out of here.
Yeah, at that point, I'm gonna take clothing too. Just in my storage units. Joe was down last week, and we brought home a couple of boxes of clothing, which I go through the clothing and I look for something that might be odd, or I look for a cool graphic tee. But for the most part, it's like, well, number one, if it smells or it's dirty or it's that dampness, I'm not even going to deal with it. But she went through. We brought home 2 or 3 boxes, and she went through and she found some nice pieces, some costume pajama things like the Grinch and Stitch and the pink bunny from Christmas Story. There was actually like a Christmas. Turnabout is fair play. Oh, let's show this Scarface coat. So let's talk about this
coat.
This thing is sweet. Look at this thing. If you're watching the screen, Scarface hoodie. Tell us about that one.
We don't know a lot about it yet, other than we found it and it stuck out like a sore thumb. One, it's a 4XL, so the size alone is like already makes it worth money, even if it's not worth money.
Yes.
And then it's got those cool graphics all over it. And we looked it up. There's none quite like it. There's a few similar, but there's none quite like it listed right now. But it looks like we should be able to get $150 out of that jacket from what we're telling on WorthPoint and stuff. And that's super clean. I mean, it's in great shape. It just needed to be washed, and that was just in a bag of free stuff. So we buried ourselves in stuff, and we forced ourselves to learn a few things, but there were a few standouts like that.
And then I love this next piece, the hockey jersey.
Oh, right here. We're gonna
throw this up on the screen right now.
This one shocked both of us. This is a Sioux Falls Stampede hockey jersey from the Wiener Dog race days. They do it once a year. It's a game-worn jersey, and it's signed by Fulmer. What's his full name?
Tony Fulmer, I think we looked
Tony
up.
Fulmer, 21.
Yes.
We looked that jersey up, and we have it listed right now for $475, and it was in a bag of free clothes.
Now for $475.
Yep, and we listed high. We may end up having to come down, but there's several sold of the Wiener Dog days during that year, the 18-19 season, that did sell in the 200 range, a little over 200, and those were like the concession stand jerseys that you buy. They're not the game worn ones, and they weren't signed, and they didn't have a player on the back. So we only found one other comp that was close to this that sold for $400, and it wasn't signed, but it was a game worn, and it was a different player. So we figured we'd shoot for the moon. We put it at $475, and we'll lower the price gradually till it goes. But again, it was in a bag of free stuff with a bunch of hockey T-shirts. So that bag alone is going to do really well. I mean, that we've got a stack of probably 20 hockey T-shirts.
I was trying to look up if he was ever drafted.
Yeah, I don't know. He may still play for the Stampede. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's moved on, but I seen something about the St. Louis Blues.
He might be a reseller now. His hockey might not have gone well.
He's going to be looking for his jersey. Hey, wouldn't that be cool if he bought it from you, if you listed it?
That would be awesome.
And then, but that's just cool. I mean, first thing that sticks out, the Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs.
We almost threw that in the throwaway pile. We almost did, because it has 2 like blood stains on the back of it. and they're really small and they're faint. They came out most of the way, but they're still there. And we almost threw it in the throwaway pile. One, because it had stains, and two, because it said Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs. I was like, that ain't worth anything.
Yeah.
And then we looked it up. We said, well, let's look it up.
I wished you would have been, oh, hey, Ken, we're going to throw this away. Do you want it? I'd have taken that, but not at $475. It's not that cool.
It's like that Ohio jacket you got. I tried to send you a decent offer on it. You wouldn't give it to me either.
Well, Corey lowballed me the other day. He was trying to help out when I was talking on my show. It was a fair offer.
I'm trying to feed a family over here, and you're not helping. You don't need to sell on eBay anyway. I was just trying to get your eBay store working.
It was listed for $149.99, $150. It's a vintage Apex Ohio State Buckeyes, almost like a puffer jacket, a nylon coat. And then so while I'm still on the show, I get an offer for $45.99.
Fair.
It's like that's like
lowball would have been like $20,
$104 off of that. Now, from that discussion and talking about that, well, we are we're more acquaintances when I get a lowball like that. You know, if I get. But I was hoping that actually, because it kind of got to be funny. Corey offers me, the $46 for the $150 jacket. Well, then Jill came right behind him. I get another offer while I'm still on the show.
I
get another offer. Jill offers him like a $47 and a penny. And
I said I would have sold it to Jill and just kept it and relisted it. At least then you'll make some money on that thing. Get that eBay algorithm pumping.
Make sure she puts on the local, the local pickup, so I don't have to pay on the shipping.
I'd collect the shipping too.
But I'm hoping what's going to happen, because then in talking with Corey, it's probably, it's been listed for a while, and there again, it's going back to your inventory thing of, I know that I have a number of items that are listed in my store that they need price adjusted. They need gone through inventory. They need looked at, recomped for current sale value. In that particular coat, I did lower the price to $99.99. It has a few condition issues.
So would 45 still be lowball on 99?
Well, it's still half price. Yeah.
I give up.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, if you want to get me on Whatnot, if you really want to get me over on Whatnot, run that jacket on Whatnot and I'll come over and buy it. Because I know I can get it for 45 on there.
You probably 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Not even 45.
I'll even bump it up a little. I'll bid against myself till it gets to 45.
I probably wouldn't ever run anything like that. But what I was hoping is the activity.
Did you hear what he said, guys? He said he wouldn't run good things on Whatnot.
Yeah, see, that's one of the attitudes about Whatnot that it's not.
This is why Ken's going to quit the podcast.
I'm not bringing junk now. When I do start I have this idea of
Jill?
bringing no. Jill brings good stuff. I am going to start to do like a Ken versus 10 version on Whatnot. And I haven't really put out any details or anything out there yet of what I'm doing, but that's going to be a lot of storage unit items that are going to be, let's open a box and let's see what's in here and pull it out. And are we going to run it? So there's going to be a combination of good stuff and average stuff or mid-range stuff.
It's going to be a pretty good show, and it's going to feel, if you watch Ken versus 10 on YouTube, it's going to be really familiar in that sense, mostly because it's non-monetized on YouTube as well.
Oh man, you had me. I was waiting for this praise and for Corey to finally, agree with me on something and say, this is going to be a really good idea, and I think it's going to work out well for you. And then just right in a bag, just he's like speed bagging me right on the old scrotum. Are we allowed to say scrotum on here? Yeah.
Well, we did.
So anyway, I think we will end the show. We've been on here for a while. But if you are here this long, if you're listening to this on Monday when it comes out, you only have 2 days to wait for the holiday live tour on Wednesday the 30th. If like maybe you're a person that like waits till the next day and it's Tuesday, you only got 1 day to wait. And if you're a Wednesday listener, you're probably whooped up because it's tonight. It is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
What are you talking about?
Mountain.
Wednesday's not tonight.
No, if you waited to watch this episode until Wednesday.
You watch this episode, I was going to say, I thought you were doing a senile moment.
No.
Well, you should watch. You should watch Wednesday anyway, because I'm going to be. If you're a big Ken Bill fan, SSK promo supporter, as it were, I'm going to be outnumbered 3-1 on the Wednesday show, because I believe everybody on the show is Whatnot people. I know Chad does a lot of eBay, but I think he might do Whatnot. I know Jess and Xena do.
I thought you were going to say that they were all Ken fans too, and you were going to be outnumbered.
I didn't want to put that out in the universe. I don't know if that's true.
Well, see, I need to find that out. But I think
they're Whatnot fans.
If they are and they do sell on there, I'm not following them, so we'll have to find that out.
Well, I know Jess and Xena do for sure. I also know they do like live selling on Dibdit. They do a lot of that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's the same thing. It's just pretty much. Yeah. It's more categorized into pop culture stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited, and we'll get to learn. We probably won't do a lot of reseller talk. It'll be mostly Halloween. That's what the live tours are about, to get to learn a guest and know somebody, have some fun, win some prizes. We got some giveaways to do, and
I'll try to be less ornery.
So we will see you on Wednesday night. And
see you Wednesday.
Have a great week.